What if the child you thought was lost was never really gone? Outlander Season 8 is not just another chapter. It's a storm of secrets, a twist of fate, and the return of someone no one expected, Faith Fraser. Get ready, because this season doesn't just continue the story. It breaks everything you thought you knew. Time, it heals. It breaks. And in the world of Outlander, it never forgets. The journey that started with a nurse from 1945 walking through the stones is about to come full circle. Claire and Jamie have faced war, loss, and love that spans centuries. But now, in Season 8, the clock is turning again. And this time, it's not just about survival. It's about truth. The world they built is on the edge. War is brewing across the colonies. The fight for independence is rising. Friends may turn to enemies. Family will be tested. And a buried secret one Claire never expected to face is about to rise from the past like a ghost walking back into their lives. After years of separation and sacrifice. Jamie and Claire have only just found a fragile peace. But peace, in Outlander, never lasts long. Their love may be strong, but fate always has a plan. And sometimes, it's not kind. This is not the beginning. This is the storm before the end. In Season 8, Episode 1, everything changes. Some stories don't. Fade with time. They echo, whispering through the cracks of memory, through the silence between heartbeats, through stones that never forget. Outlander has never just been a tale of romance or war. It has always been a story of impossible choices, of a love so powerful it defies time itself. As Season 8 approaches, let's go back, not just to remember where we left off, but to feel why this story still holds us so tightly. It began with Claire, a World War II nurse thrown violently into the 18th century, ripped from everything she knew. The moment she fell through the stones at Cray Na Dun, time split. Her life fractured into two lives, two loves, and she was forced to make the hardest of decisions. She chose Jamie Fraser, and from that moment forward, they have been fighting not just to stay alive, but to stay together. They faced battlefields soaked in blood, kings with secrets, witch trials, epidemics, betrayal, starvation, loss, and love, the kind of love that bends history, but never breaks under it. We remember the pain of losing Faith, their first child. Paris was beautiful and cruel. Claire in agony, holding her stillborn daughter in her arms, while Jamie was locked in the Bastille, miles away. It was a loss that nearly destroyed them, not just as parents, but as people. That pain lived in their eyes for years, in every silence, in every what if. When they were torn apart by war, forced to live 20 years apart, they bore the weight of time. Claire returned to her world, raising Brianna alone in the 20th century. Jamie survived, Culloden, imprisoned, broken, rebuilt. Still, fate brought them back together. Older changed, but never strangers. Their love hadn't aged. It had only deepened, scarred and sacred. Brianna found the truth of her birth, of her real father, and risked everything to find Jamie. She crossed the stones, stepped into danger, and forged her place in a world that didn't welcome her. Her journey wasn't just about reunion. It was about identity, about belonging, about forging a future in a time that could easily take everything from her. Roger followed her, though time fought him. He was taken, beaten, nearly hanged. And yet he came back every time because love anchored him. Their love story became a reflection of Claire and Jamie's, imperfect, tested, but real. Their son Jemmy became a symbol of hope, a new generation raised between centuries, proof that love could survive the cruelty of time. But time does not give without taking. In Season 7, everything unraveled again. Claire was captured, falsely accused once more, this time not of witchcraft, but of murder. It was a return to a familiar kind of terror, but one that cut deeper. Jamie was forced to fight through oceans and armies. To save her, The American Revolution loomed. Allies turned on each other. Death knocked often. Asterisk their home, Fraser's Ridge became a battlefield of loyalties. Their legacy trembled. But even as gunpowder threatened to destroy what they'd built, they held on. Asterisk, meanwhile, Brianna and Roger made an impossible decision: to leave the 18th century and return through the stones to protect their daughter, Mandy, who had a life-threatening heart condition. That choice to save a child mirrored the pain of losing one. Asterisk in the 20th century. They discovered their journey through time was more complicated than anyone imagined. Time is not a straight line. It folds, it pulls. Jemmy vanished. Roger chased echoes. And through it all, a name began to rise. Faith. Faith, the daughter they buried. The daughter Claire mourned. Jamie never held. A wound they never dared reopen. Asterisk, but what if? She didn't die. Asterisk, what if history was wrong? Asterisk, what if time played its cruelest trick yet, taking their daughter not into the grave, but into another? Time, asterisk. The idea is impossible. And yet, nothing in Outlander is ever impossible. Asterisk, there are whispers now, signs, clues, buried in the fabric of the timeline. Faces, half remembered. Visions, a girl with Jamie's eyes and Claire's fire, seen in places no one expected. A child who should be gone but isn't a name spoken by those who should not know it. Asterisk, Faith Fraser may be more than memory. She may be the storm that brings everything full circle. Asterisk, if she is alive, she truly exists in the folds of time. Who has kept her hidden? Why was her existence erased? Who took her, and why? And if she returns, what does that mean for Jamie and Claire, for Brianna, for Roger, for their entire legacy? Asterisk, the past is reaching forward. The future is bleeding backward. Asterisk, and the stones. They are stirring again. Asterisk, the recap of Outlander is not just to remind us of the plot, it's to prepare us for the reckoning. Every moment we've witnessed, every war, every goodbye, every death, every miracle has led to this. A moment when time demands its due. Asterisk, in Season 8, the past. Will Rye's secrets will no longer stay buried. And a family that has already crossed centuries will be asked to do the unthinkable. Face a child they thought they lost forever. Asterisk, Faith was once a dream. A pain Jamie and Claire buried deep. Asterisk, but dreams have a way of becoming real in the world. Of Outlander, asterisk, and some ghosts don't rest. They return. Asterisk, not for revenge, but for truth. Asterisk, this is more than a recap. This is a warning. Asterisk, what's coming isn't just another chapter in their journey. It's a rewriting of the entire tale. Asterisk, and in the shadows of time, someone is waiting. Faith is alive, and the Frasers will never be the same. Peace is a strange thing in the world of Claire and Jamie Fraser. When it comes, it doesn't last, and it never comes quietly. Asterisk, as the camera sweeps across the ridge. Morning light spills through the trees. A fire crackles. Claire tends her herb garden. Jamie carves wood. His back straight, his eyes distant, always watching, always listening. There is silence here. Stillness that feels earned. And yet, just beneath the surface, something stirs. Asterisk, they've survived too much to trust quiet. Asterisk, their children are gone, not lost, but far away. Brianna and Roger, now in the 20th century with Jemmy and Mandy. The house feels both full of memory and emptied of presence. The ghosts of laughter echo in the hallways. Jamie says little. Claire reads more. They speak, but not often about what matters. But love still lives in every glance. They've come through fire. And though they are together, the world around them is shifting again. The scent of change lingers in the wind, like the smell before a thunderstorm. Asterisk, and then a letter arrives. A message, a whisper, a question that cracks the silence like a stone through glass. Asterisk, asterisk, the American colonies are boiling. What began as rumblings in Boston has become a full blaze across the East. The Revolutionary War has finally come to their doorstep. Redcoats march, rebel armies rise. The world Jamie and Claire have known is crumbling piece by piece. Jamie, once a Highland warrior, now walks the fine line between patriot and survivor. He has bled for too many flags. He knows freedom is never won without a price, and this war, he fears, will demand everything. Claire sees the wounds before they bleed. She's lived in 2 centuries and knows what this war will cost, not just lives but futures. Friends begin to choose sides. Neighbors grow suspicious. Enemies hide behind uniforms and polite smiles. The Ridge is no longer a sanctuary. It's a target. One night distant gunfire echoes through the hills. Another settlement is burned. Jamie loads his rifle. Claire sharpens her scalpel. The war is not coming. It's already here. Amidst the chaos, something stranger than war begins to unravel. A traveler arrives. Woman, cloaked in mystery. She speaks little, knows things she shouldn't. And when Claire sees her, something flickers. Not recognition, but something deeper. A feeling, pulse in her bones. And then she vanishes. Later in the woods, Jamie finds a carving on a tree. It's an old Scottish rune, one his mother used to write. One Claire once used in a letter. Freshly carved, impossible asterisk letters arrive. From the 20th century, but one page written in a hand no one recognizes is tucked between them. A child's drawing. A girl with red curls, small F written in the corner. Claire stares at it for hours. She tells herself it's coincidence. But in the world they live in, there's no such thing. Later, while tending to a wounded soldier, Claire hears him mutter something deliriously in French. La fille, LSD vivante. L'enfant, Fraser. The child. She is alive. The Fraser girl. He dies before she can ask more. Time is no longer a mystery to Claire, it's a threat. The Stones have taken too much already. They've given her Jamie, yes, but they've also stolen decades. They've buried friends. Torn children from her arms. If Faith is alive. Then time itself may have been lying. Claire returns to old journals. She searches old birth records, letters, shadows of whispers. She studies wounds that never healed. And the deeper she digs, the more she begins to question everything, not just what happened in Paris, but what she remembers happening. What if the child wasn't stillborn? What if someone took her? The past begins to flicker, changing shape in her memory. Colors blur, faces shift. She dreams of a baby with dark eyes. A nurse saying something she never heard. Face behind a curtain. And one name keeps appearing. A woman named E. Beauchamp. Claire's mother's name. Tears mothers. But it doesn't. Makes sense, not unless time folded. Again, Jamie listens in silence. His hands shake when she says the name, Faith. And when he finally speaks, it's a whisper. She's ours. If she lives, I'll find her. The possibility tears everything open. If Faith is alive, then nothing they've built is safe. If time stole her, if someone hid her, what does that mean for Brianna, for Mandy, for the legacy of the Frasers? Claire begins to question if she should go back through the stones, back to the 20th century, back to where clues may lie. Jamie fears losing her again. They argue not in anger, but in pain, in the fear of being broken all over again. Meanwhile, Brianna, across time, begins to see signs too. Mandy speaks to someone in her sleep, a girl named Phi. Jemmy draws a picture of 3 children, not 2. When Roger looks through old family records. He finds a photograph faded, scratched. But the girl in the background, she looks like Claire, only younger. And beside her, it's a teenager with Jamie's eyes. The timelines are bleeding into each other. The story is breaking at the seams. Someone has to make a choice. Someone has. To risk everything, Asterisk, because if Faith lives, if she's truly out there, then she may hold the key to saving everything. Or destroying it. A storm gathers over Fraser's Ridge. The firelight flickers. Claire stands in the doorway, holding something in her hand, a lock of hair tied in a ribbon. Jamie approaches, his voice low. Asterisk, where did you find it? Asterisk, she looks up. It was in her things. Asterisk, they stare at each other. The silence is louder than thunder. Asterisk, the wind howls through the trees. Leaves scatter like forgotten memories. And then, a girl stands at the edge of the forest. Asterisk, she looks like something out of a dream. Red gold hair curled like firelight. Too sharp to knowing, her dress is torn. Her boots don't belong to this century. She doesn't speak, not at first. She simply watches. Asterisk and Claire knows. In her bones, in her blood, in a mother's silent scream. That is her daughter. Asterisk, the one she buried in Paris. The one who never cried. Never breathed. Faith. The girl walks slowly into the clearing and the camera lingers on her hands. She's holding something, a rosary, the same one Claire left behind. At the hospital in Paris, the same one that vanished the night she gave birth. Asterisk's time doesn't just bring people back. It erases what we thought we knew. Asterisk, Jamie steps forward. His voice trembles. What is your name, lass? She looks up, her gaze old and full of thunder. I don't know, but a dream of your face. Asterisk, the silence after her words is heavier. Then gunfire. Asterisk, Claire collapses. Not from weakness, but from everything that was never supposed to be real. Jamie holds her eyes locked on the girl, on their daughter. Asterisk memories clash. Paris, the grave, the stillness. Claire remembers the blood. She remembers Father Anselm saying goodbye. But Faith stands here now. Real, living, breathing. And somehow, untouched by time, Asterisk Faith doesn't know who she is. She has flashes, a silver ring, a woman's voice, a man singing in Gaelic. She says she woke in a field with nothing but a name whispered in her dreams. Claire, Asterisk, Jamie sees it first. The way she moves, the stubborn tilt of her chin. The way her hands tremble when she's afraid but never let go. He's looking in a mirror from decades ago. Asterisk, but the joy doesn't come clean. It's jagged. Asterisk Claire can't stop asking questions. Who raised her? Where has she been? Why doesn't she remember them? Asterisk, and most of all, what price was paid so she could live? Asterisk, because in Outlander, every miracle is born of pain. Asterisk, across centuries. Brianna drops a cup. It shatters on the floor. A chill runs through her, not from cold but from the ache of something shifting. Something rewriting itself. A sibling she never met, now returned. Asterisk, Roger reads aloud from a letter they hadn't noticed before. It was hidden in the lining of an old book. It's written in a young girl's hand and signed only F. Asterisk, Brianna. Feels torn between awe and betrayal. If Faith lives, what else did the stones hide? If her sister was taken, who made that choice? Asterisk, how do you welcome someone into your life when their existence undoes your own? Asterisk, Claire writes them from the past, tears staining the ink. Her voice breaks in the letter. She looks just like you did at 12. Asterisk, Jamie writes too, but his words are few. His strength doesn't live in what he says. It lives in what he fights for. And now, he will fight for Faith, even if it means tearing the world apart. But something follows Faith. Asterisk, it moves in the background of every scene. A shadow in the corner of a lantern's glow. A whisper behind trees. A man in black watching. Asterisk, we learn. His name later, or maybe we don't. Because this villain doesn't speak. He listens. He's not after land or gold. He's after time itself. Asterisk, he knows what Faith is. Not just who. What. Asterisk, because she didn't just survive. She passed through something. Something none of them understand yet. Now, she's a key. A living map to the heart of time. Asterisk, Claire finds marks on Faith's skin. Not scars, symbols, etchings, and patterns she's only seen once on the stones at Craignaw. Done. Asterisk, Faith was taken. Yes, but not by a person. By time, the enemy isn't a soldier. Asterisk. It's whatever controls the doors between centuries. Asterisk, and now it wants Faith back. Asterisk, asterisk, the trailer quickens. The music rises. Asterisk, we see flash cuts. War, passion, betrayal. Asterisk, Jamie leading men into battle. Musket in one hand, sword in the other. Claire screaming over a wounded body. Brianna running toward a burning barn. Roger holding a compass that spins with no true north. Asterisk, Faith. Walking into a stone circle, we see the past and future blur. An explosion. A kiss. A child's scream. Blood on a tartan. And then the quiet again. Jamie kneeling, tears in his eyes. Not for death, but for hope. Asterisk, he whispers in Gaelic, and Faith repeats it perfectly. A language she never learned, a memory she never made. Asterisk, and Claire realizes the truth. Faith hasn't just returned. She remembers everything, even the parts she never lived. Asterisk. 6. Final hook, a night sky. The stars are different. Faith stares up, her face lit by firelight. Claire sits beside her, watching her sleep. And then Faith speaks. In her sleep, asterisk, they're coming. Claire leans in. Faith opens her eyes. Asterisk, they never let someone escape the stones. Asterisk, cut. To black, a final title card. Outlander Season 8, Episode 1. Faith coming, Summer 2025, one final beat. A heartbeat. Asterisk, then silence.